For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial Darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. Though we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pup, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad. My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time. As you get older, those years make less difference. A lesson often hard won.
I doubt he'll be receptive, Hal. My fierce boy has his own mind these days, make her bless his heart.
As uniquely talented as his father, I'm sure.
At any rate, Pup, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle. I'm certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going. You'll have your chance soon enough. This is no needless task. I ask you to take a great responsibility. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Teyrn Kuzland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope. They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow Wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about. I have not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone? In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me. You'll have plenty of time after we're gone. We must discuss the battle plans in the south. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Yes? Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about. We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again. Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Cailan isn't half that. I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
Oh, the boy did ask, your lordship, as per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion. The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations. Perhaps. Delilah is no longer of the age where I can direct her tastes. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature. I'm sure there will be much to discuss once I return. I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone. Your father has left you in charge of the castle? Then I will see you at dinner tomorrow, if not sooner. As do I. Until then.
Good evening, my lord. Good evening, my lord.
Greetings, my lord. You are the Terran's son, are you not? That is good to know. I understand you shall take charge of your father's castle once we march. Ah, then I wish you luck. Good evening, my lord. Good evening, my lord.
And so I shall.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave. Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off. I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we? She was entertaining Lady Landra and her son when I left her, perhaps in the atrium? Before we go, my lord, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true? Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me? Maker's breath, are you certain? Can you imagine? Me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my outburst.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my son, along with Sir Gilmore. Tell me, Sir Gilmore, has my pup collared that dog yet?
Not just yet, your ladyship.
Darling, do take care of that. That malodorous hound of yours is an excellent protector, but he drives Nan to distraction. I'm not asking you to travel to the moon. The kitchen is just around the corner. Sir Gilmore, see that it gets done.
As your ladyship commands.
Good. With any luck, I'll be able to feed my guests before the end of next week. Darling, you remember Lady Landra?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon. You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon shamelessly flirting with you?
Right in front of your family, too.
You remember my son, Dyron. He's riding with your father tomorrow.
It's good to see you again, my lord. You will be missed.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra!
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet. You can go to the kitchen and deal with your hound.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship. Sir Gilmore.
Of course.
Good evening, my lord.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect. If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson? Perhaps you could make the topic more palatable for these lads and their minuscule intellects. Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start? Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man. A pity you don't spend the same care whetting the edge of your mind as your tongue. At any rate, your family has held the Tournere of High Ever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elathea Cousland battled Calenhad to maintain High Ever's independence. Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elathea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event. The Couslands are ardent royalists now, But at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached Highever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won. Well, records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child? Good. I'm pleased some of my lessons seem to have stuck. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern. The history between the Couslands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Ternier's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over. Your grandfather couldn't afford to lose Harper's Ford. In keeping the town, your family drove Orlais from its lands. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn. Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing. Damn, that's myself all this one.
As you desire.
Hello again. Your castle study is wonderful. Might I ask whose collection this is? Yes, he was something of a scholar, right? An interest in magical studies? Not per se. Books are my passion. Years ago, I wanted to join the Chantry as a scholar, but Father wouldn't hear of it. Thank you, my lord, though I'm certainly no smarter than yourself. Books are just an interest. No more than anyone else. Is it true there is one here in the castle? Have you met him? I'd join the Grey Wardens in a heartbeat. Can you imagine destroying the Darkspawn forever? Becoming a hero? But I'd never gain a Grey Warden's notice. I'll have to be happy under your father's command. I'd like that. What did you have in mind? There's not much to tell. I am the eldest son of a minor lord. I can't imagine I'm anyone very interesting to you. I would be glad of the chance to get to know you better. Until then.
All right.
It is good to see you again, my lord. And you also, Sir Gilmore.
Likewise, madam.
My family has been in service to hers for many years. Lady Landra elevated my place as a reward for our loyalty. I hope this position might pass to my daughter. Forgive me, I shouldn't have mentioned her. Her name is Amathine. Her father died of a wasting sickness 2 years ago. Amathine is my life. You will know when you have children. This is why your mother protects you from the coming battle. Lady Landra is good to her elven servants. That is not true in many households, but I hear it is in yours. It speaks well of your father to show such compassion. Lady Landra has been very good to me. I am lucky. If I may, your mother has no ladies-in-waiting herself. Is that usual for a noblewoman of her rank? That is not a sentiment I see amongst other noblewomen. Farewell, my lord. Good luck on managing this castle in the coming months. I imagine it shall be very difficult.
Good evening, my lord.
And so I shall.
Oh, my lord, we were just, Well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Terran stationed us here. No, my lord, of course not.
Yes, my lord. Thank you. We won't forget this.
And so I shall. Delighted.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all!
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you. Please, child, call me Malol. I've known you since you were a wee babe after all. Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need. Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be. There now. I'll be keeping a vigil tonight. You're welcome to come. There are many more who must receive the Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me. It is the least I could do. If the worst comes to pass, child, take comfort in knowing that the Maker's will takes many forms. We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
As you desire.
late tonight giving the Earls for quarters.
The castle is so eerie with everyone preparing to ride south. It'll be so empty. As you desire. Delighted. All right.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves, I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you! Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down. If I locked it any tighter, we couldn't get in.
Oh dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the Turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
Nan, please. We'll get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here? Wait, did you hear that? Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all. Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Jarl's men.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones?
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead. Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then. Take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
We will serve you well while the Terran is gone.
Good evening, my lord.
So, you managed to solve Nan's dog issues? I'll take that as a yes. Good work, darling. Now you should say goodbye to Fergus before he leaves, don't you think? Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited. There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother. I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you? You are here. Trust me, you'll get your chance for excitement soon enough. As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty, and we have ours. For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate, and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority. Good. I was worried you might be nervous about running the castle alone. I needn't have been concerned. If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana. I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you? Indeed. I turned around, and here you are. A fine man in your own right. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. Go do what you must, then. I will see you soon.
Going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
He is as mortal as anyone, despite his refusal to believe.
Now, love, no need to be grim. I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those Darkspawn myself.
Surely your father would not place both his heirs in danger?
Mother and father have been fighting about it for days. It's too bad. I could have used you at my side.
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Oren. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come? Oh? If I were a Grey Warden, little brother, I'd have my eye on you. Not that father would ever allow it. If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you will be so miserable, husband.
Then the Arl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many Darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Orin. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, Maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, Mother dear. You'll take care of her, brother, won't you?
Oh, good. How thrilling to know I'm so well taken care of.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.